recording now. So, how are you, Patrick?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for honoring my invite. You were very quick to respond when I just requested for a small interview with you. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your quick response and honoring my invite to have this interview with you. Okay?
All
Yeah.
right, thank you for having me as well.
Okay, so maybe before we begin, I can just talk to my viewers a bit. So, thank you very much, guys, for subscribing to my YouTube channel, sharing the content with your network. So, I really appreciate it. And for the newcomers, you're welcome into the YouTube channel where we are promoting awareness on matters sustainability, issues to do with the environment, climate change, agriculture, and generally natural resource management. So feel at home and let us all learn together. So today I have a very important guest. I saw him online and I was quick to talk to him and send him a message, and he was very quick to respond, and he has honored the invite and is here to join us. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Patrick. So
You're
I will
welcome.
let him introduce himself, then we can pick it from there. So Patrick, maybe you can introduce yourself and tell us your affiliation.
Well, like you say, I'm Patrick Kilonzo Molua from Taita County here in Kenya, and I do wildlife conservation. I've been in conservation for more than 15 years, and my life has just intermingled with nature and wildlife for all that time. I've been into conservation. It's my passion, and that's what I live for.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. So that makes the two of us, and I'm so excited that you're here, that you have been able to join us. And
Thank you.
as we begin, why are you referred to as the Waterman? Why Waterman? Who?
Well, the name Waterman of Tsavo came after I started this initiative of delivering water right to the wildlife, water holes where the animals are. And it was back 2016 when there was a very big drought here in Kenya
Okay.
and uh, some other parts of Africa. But Kenya was really hit hard, especially in Tsavo ecosystem.
Okay.
So for some time, there was no rain. And one time, I just found at the waterhole in my patrols in Tsavo, a place called Lumo and Taita Hill Sanctuary. I found a buffalo looking for water, and the waterhole did not had anything at all. It was just mud, and so the buffalo just sniffing at that mud. It really wanted, to drink water. So that time it's when I took it. Uh, in my shoes, and I thought, like, suppose it's me that I need water, and I don't get water. What will I do?
Okay.
And I had a very quick answer, because for me, I could probably run somewhere in a nearby household and borrow water, but there's no way an animal could borrow water from anywhere.
Do that.
uh,
Yeah.
and some people say that survival for the fittest, but this is not the case, because this is an animal dying. It doesn't have water, and it
Yeah.
needs water, so there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I decided to go back to a nearby town,
Okay.
which is like 100 kilometers from where I was, and then I hired a truck of 10,000 liters, and then I took it to the wild to give the wildlife water. So
Okay.
immediately I arrived there, I found a lot of animals who were, just in need of water. And yeah, from that time, then we started drinking water, and that was now the mission. That's how it started. The following day, I went again. The following day, And I mean, when people saw me, I'm doing this, they started also helping me, because at the beginning I started with own money in my pocket, with the little savings that I had. But
Okay.
I thought it is very important also to save animals as well. So from there, and then I started faring like you know, 4 trips, 6 trips. Sometimes it was very
Wow.
hectic, especially it was a prolonged, you know, drought. So the water was like a day to day basis delivery. So
Wow.
that's how, yeah, that's how then people, you know, knew me as, you know, Waterman of Tsavo.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good to know. I must applaud you for that. That's quite a huge and amazing task that very
yeah,
few can actually do that. So you've said that at first you were just doing all this by your own
oh,
savings, the whatever the little cash that you had,
yes,
you're the
exactly.
one just was sponsoring it by yourself.
Exactly. Because for
Okay,
me, it was all about passion, you know.
wow.
It's about passion. Yeah.
Okay. So with
Yeah.
time, people started sponsoring you, the communities around.
Yeah, actually, international communities who are more touched than even our national our citizens. I don't know why, but I guess it's because uh, some other people have more passion than other people. I don't know, but I got more support internationally than inside Kenya. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. So maybe how did your intervention hit the international community? How were they able to get to know about what you're doing?
Many people came on the ground. Like when I did, like I posted my activities on Facebook. Of course, my just personal Facebook. Then
Okay.
I realized that there's some, you know, media houses started coming. Like I had like K24 come, I mean, you know, Citizen come, KTN come in. You know, many other like international guys also coming from Japan, Korea, you know, all over the world. You know, a lot of people came. Like
Wow.
I remember that time the media were just like. You know, one week you have these guys, sometimes one week you have like two other media stations. So that's how they got to spread my word. And it was good because most of the people got inspired that
Okay.
if you start something that you feel it's a good cause, then it can change the I mean the environment or our planet. So for me, I mean the great achievement that I feel that I have done is like people all over the world you know, got inspired.
Exactly.
I remember one letter from a very small girl in the UK. I remember she didn't donate anything, but there was that I mean, she talked to her very touching. She was like, "Oh, you've really inspired us. We have to do something here also in our country." So
Wow.
that was a great thing, you know, for me. Yeah.
Okay, I must commend you. I must really, really commend you for that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe even tell my viewers, you see, there's the power of the social media. Whatever you do with regards to the natural resource management or anything to do with sustainability, and you're able to promote it in the digital platforms, then it is able to reach a wider community. Then even the people can emulate whatever you're doing. Like the way you're saying, whatever you're able to do was able to some people were getting inspired and they were saying that they will do the same in their countries or rather in their respective countries and counties. So that's really, really nice. So maybe
Thank
I'd like to ask you the impact that you made at that particular time in 2016. Did it bore any fruits? Like, what's the status currently? Are the wildlife still having challenge with regards to water
Well,
availability?
first of all, um, the first impact that I made is like I reduced the level of human wildlife conflict, because most animals, I remember, they were going out to the communities looking for water, breaking like the pipes and all that. But you see, when I started ferrying water right where they were, I kind of contained them. So
Wow.
there was no point for them going out now to the communities and fighting, with the people, and risking wildlife lives. So I could say that I mean there was. Minimum cases of human wildlife conflict, and also like the animals were not at risk, because you see, when people see animals outside, they think like they are enemies, and they like to kill them. But now you see, I saved lives in that way, apart from drought, and also killing at the same time. And also, I mean, what I did is, after doing all that, I started also building some ponds, and excavating some mud water holes within Savo, so that any small rains that we get, it could be
Be
I mean,
sufficient.
useful, yeah, for animals. Yeah.
Okay, so this you're doing it for yourself, or were you getting support, or like a financial support from institutions or donors when it comes to the water harvesting structures, the water pans?
I'm kind of like I mean, that time I was not even registered. Now I'm
Okay.
registered as Molua Wildlife Trust, but I've not yet got any support from many organizations so far. It's just individuals, just sending
Wow.
me their donations of $50, $20, $5. So when you combine that, you get like a big water pan. I create one, again, I build a water hole, or water pan. That's how I do it. But now I'm
Okay.
waiting for my registration to be over, and probably I can apply for big organization if I could get any funding. But for me, it makes no difference, because still I'm trying to do impact, even if other organization are existing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm really glad that you're able to counter the human wildlife conflict. So
Mm,
recently, I was in Kitui County myself,
yeah.
and we were developing the county climate risk profile of Kitui County. And I was talking to farmers in various sub counties. They were saying there was the challenge of human wildlife conflict, and this
Mm,
is exacerbated by the water scarcity. There's water
mm,
shortage. So it finds that the wildlife are going to look for the water and the pasture into the human into their homestead. So there's the challenge of the human wildlife conflict. And I must commend you if you're able to counter this just through the need of giving water to wildlife. So this is a very, very commendable job that I really must applaud you for that. So
thank you
that's
so
really,
much.
really nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
So
much.
yeah. So do you get to make those trips now, or now that the fact that there are the water pans that you have, the water pans that you've come up with, uh, is it sufficient enough, and the wildlife are able to have enough water, or do you still make the trips with the water tank as you
I
go to
still
look for?
I still make the trips with the water tanker, because the water pans and the water dams depend on rainy season.
Okay.
And here in Savo, the rain patterns have really changed. I mean, it's not like 20 years ago, whereby we used to depend on a certain season, that we have a certain amount of water. Now it is I mean, of rainfall. Now it is very unpredictable,
Okay.
because things have changed. I guess the destruction of the human beings to our natural resources have really caused this change of pattern of rainfall, or of climate. So I still make the trips during, hot season, or very dry season. But also, I'm trying to look for more sustainable way, like having some boreholes, drilling some boreholes within
Okay.
Savo ecosystem. So that is what now, like, I'm planning to do when funds are available. But otherwise, with the dams that we have now already, they're sustaining some more water, but it's not. But you see, Savo is huge, so
Yeah.
like, you can't have just little and say that it's enough.
That's
No,
enough.
we have to take them to different points. So there's a lot to be done. I could say, like, I've not even done a quarter of it, so there's still a long way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really good to know. So maybe can you tell me, do you experience challenges or do you experience some difficulties in carrying out your interventions?
Yeah, you see now, especially first challenges. I've been on treatment for the last 7 years. I'm undergoing dialysis twice a week because I have
Oh,
kidney failures. Yeah, so I sometimes the weather, it's very hot here. Like this, it's very sun and very scorching, and yeah, sometimes you're forced to work under very scorching hot sun, to accomplish your mission. Another thing is like every time you go to the world, you never know how the wildlife will behave. Sometimes they're very close to you, so you're like you have to put out your eyes because you're like watch out every time when you're passing close to a buffalo or elephant, because they can knock you at any moment because they're still wildlife at the end of the day. So those are some of the challenges, and of course, lack of resources. Because like I never had enough resources. For first challenge that I have is it's a personal challenge,
okay.
because I have a health challenge. I've been on kidney failures for the last 7 years. So I go dialysis twice a week. So sometimes when I go for dialysis, I go to the park again the very day. It's very uncomfortable because at the end of the day you're tired, and you have this mission, because if you don't go, animals will like suffer. So sometimes like you face like your health is at risk. And another thing is sometimes when you're in the park, you never know, because it's a wildlife place. So you just just brush shoulders with elephants and buffaloes. Sometimes even you're opening the tap, they just close there, so you never know if like they can decide sometimes to go very wild and knock you down or something like that. But because of the mission and the passion that I have, I still press on. And another thing is like the financial aspect of it, because there's a lot that's needed to be done, but we need to have resources for that matter.
Wow. Patrick, I'm so shocked and I'm really very much impressed by whatever you're doing. Despite the challenges that you're going through, you've really put your love for the natural resources, wildlife in the forefront. That's really commendable, I must say. And I know that I think that the whole world should hear your story and emulate what you're doing. Despite the setbacks that you're going through, you're still very passionate about ensuring that the wildlife have enough water. That's really commendable, I must say, Patrick. Yeah.
Thank you so
So,
much.
as we wind up, you've mentioned these challenges. What do you think uh, you can do more if these challenges were not there? Do you think you can do something, as in you can do more with regards to the wildlife, ensuring that they have enough water? Do you think you can do more?
Yeah, like for a really sustainable thing is like, because I've said sometimes the rainfall here are not really predictable. Sometimes we have rain, sometimes we don't have, and this faring with the truck is not really sustainable. But if like if finances are available, then you have several boreholes, and sometimes we even do like rock catchment. When it's raining, then you catch, like, have big dams where you catch water that could take you like for 6 months or 8 months. Those are some of the uh, really sustainable things that we can do. The boreholes, drilling of boreholes, and supplying water to different parts of in the world, and also doing like very huge dams and rock catchment. Those are some of the
Oh,
most sustainable
that-
things. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I must. Okay, that's really good to know. So, currently, you work. You say that you have a mission So do you have like other people like to help you in doing this, or are you still doing it by yourself?
I'm more like myself because you see, if you involve other people, then it means that you have to pay them, and
Yeah.
I don't have that money to pay people. So, and this thing is for me, it was purely voluntary.
Okay.
So nobody will buy that idea of just volunteering without nothing. So I want when my organization grow, when it start getting funding, then I can put some other people in place so that they can help where help is needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really good to know. And do you see yourself outside Tsavo? Do you think that you can? Do you see yourself maybe doing these initiatives other than Tsavo itself?
Yeah, I think uh, when my organization like it grows like big legs, then then I
Mhm.
can like go outside serve. I can think um, outside the box because
Okay.
uh, what is limiting me is already like I said. Uh, there isn't enough finance because when it comes to wildlife all over Kenya and even some parts of Africa, there's no enough water. I think for some reasons, people did not invest a lot in wildlife.
Yeah.
So because if you look at Namibia, even some parts of Zambia or Zimbabwe, they still have the same problem. I remember at the first time, I think it was 2016 towards the end there, I got a lot of emails, people writing to me if I could initiate the very project and replicate the same to their countries. But you
Okay.
see now, I was very small to I'm very small to do that.
Okay.
I could have that strength. I could go all over and try to do the same. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I presume you're willing to work with sponsors or donors if they wish to come on board. Do you want to work with the donors or sponsors if they come on board?
Of course, yes. This is open for everybody because at the end of the day, it's not a one-man show. This is about helping animals and changing our ecosystems for betterment of our environment.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So if there's a donor or sponsor who will be able to watch this interview, you're welcome to work with Patrick to
yeah,
ensure the sustainability when it comes to wildlife. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And personally, like in this YouTube channel and my channel, it says my social media platform, I always promote sustainability and basically even the sustainable development goals. Earlier in this channel, I spoke with an expert as well who is in the wildlife, where we were able to discuss about sustainable development goal 14, which is life on land, basically the wildlife. Yeah,
mm,
we and we're able to discuss the various threats and the challenges that the wildlife are able to experience. And
mm,
like you're mentioning, there's the challenge of water availability. Water is scarce in Africa and Kenya specifically. So if there are some sponsors or donors who can come on board and ensure that whatever you're doing is being able to replicate it even other parts of the
mm,
Kenya, then it
mm.
will be a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yes, I don't know if you have any other thing to say because I would wish to wind up from there. To wind up.
I think I'm happy that we talked, and I hope this message will inspire somebody who hears, or who sees your YouTube. Probably, even if one person changes or two people can decide to get inspired by what I'm saying, then for me this is the great achievement.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine is to say thank you very much for honoring my invite and being able to
Thank you.
share your story where you
Thank
be
you.
able to know who the Waterman is. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
I've been able to meet you and talk to you. So your story went viral. I saw it with Nas Daily. I follow him. So I saw it and I even shared on my Facebook. I was
Yeah,
like,
okay.
this is really impressive. And
Thank you.
that's why I just decided, let me message you. And
Yeah,
you are very quick to respond and you are very willing to share your story. And I
thank you.
believe that through this discussion, the way you've mentioned, if we are able to inspire one or two people, then we'll be able to make uh, Kenya great, or even Africa, and be able to tackle the issue of water scarcity and
Thank you
climate
so much.
change in general, because issues to do with water scarcity, the dry spell, is as a
Mm,
result of climate change. So
exactly.
I'm hoping that it will inspire someone. Personally, I'm very shocked and I'm very happy with whatever you're doing. Keep up the good work. And I
Thank
believe
you.
that your organization will grow and you'll
Mm,
be able to reach out to different parts and you'll be able to extend your area of jurisdiction. So,
thank,
mine, thank you very much.
thank you, Brenda.
Yes, I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
All right. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have
All
a
right.
good
Bye.
day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.